So when I made this video, I need to follow it up with something. I will not be playing Hearthstone this year anymore. Uh, if I do it, I will do it just to react to some news or whatever. Some things that happen that are unique to Hearthstone that cannot be defined as Hearthstone because it's new, right? They kind of do that stuff where it's difficult to capture the essence of Hearthstone, and when you do, it's absolute cancer. It's not really interesting. I've highlighted this that in order to have fun, you actually have to be challenged, but you have to feel like you have a chance to win. If you don't have a chance to win, what's the point? You just get scammed, or you're just playing with noobs. This You want to actually play something that's your level, basically. It's best to just make friends, by the way. Just play decks against friends who are kind of similar level. There should be like pools of players separated not by rank but by level. And at the same time, you should be able to choose which level you want because maybe your deck is going to be weaker. Maybe you want a better challenge or whatever. Like, you should be able to just choose that. Of course, ranking matters, but when you truly want to rank, like, you pick the best decks or whatever. Uh, but the experience has to be, like, smooth and all that shit. I don't like ranking in general. Like, they try to fix it. It sort of makes more sense now. You can pick up sort of like small step in between uh where I can stop at diamond 10 and it's a comfortable spot. I just don't, but it's exhausting. Every month I have to do it. I don't like it, man. I have to grind. I have to enjoy Hearthstone. I want to record most of my games, most of my experience. I want to climb while I do the experience, and if this is my initial fucking step of getting scammed and playing against noobs, still initial step. Like, I would understand I play against noobs, right? All the time. But no, no. Some players have figured it out somehow. And they annoy the shit out of me. And these kind of games like those are special games. And some of them can be actually forced. When I did the drug let's do drugs episode, I was kind of like forcing the shit out of uh the game. Where is it? It was the priest thing, right? Uh, what happened? I was doing the rat and uh, dirty rat and merge seller combination of just draining my opponent's hands from minions, and they can only play spells. And it was kind of an interesting experience. Now, if they have enough card draw, they can just kind of negate all of this crap. But I put some people in very weird positions where I didn't thought it would be possible, but I lost, you know, and that was pretty sad. I wasn't upset that I lost. I'm sure I made some kind of misplay. You know, at some point you just don't pay attention enough and you get punished, and that's cool. Obviously, my opponent had to high roll to win quite a bit, but like this is not an experience that I want, bro. I don't want to force Hearthstone to actually work. And that's fucking disgusting. Because most of the time when I build a deck, it's just not gonna work. And I see some other disturbing things about Hearthstone, but like often enough, you get scammed in multitude of ways. There's some nasty combos that have to just be dismantled. In general, the game has to be redesigned so the combos are not so suppressive. And now we get to experience twist format, which just kind of reminds you the how Hearthstone used to work, where you used to trade to minions, you used to play them, and not just get board cleared immediately the moment your board is full. The moment your board is full, you sort of like win. You know, It's just ahead of the game. Yes, there's Warlock with Twisting Nether. Cool exclusive card that you can sort of play around, sort of. But when Priest has like 10 Borklers, when Death Knight can reset the game with one Borkler, just reset the game. I'm I don't think it's a very interesting experience anymore. So you have scams and Borklers, uh, or aggro decks. No one plays tempo. No one, bro. No one gives a fuck. Nobody. Zero players. The game is not even forcing you to play tempo or analyze how to optimize your deck to squeeze tempo. Nobody. Not even fucking influencers play tempo. They just play like generic decks that like sort of look like that, but it's more like combo oriented nonsense. You know, just more memes, right? So the core concept of Hearthstone is just completely dead. The reason why I'm making this video, this is not about Hearthstone anymore. I'm done. This year, I'll just take a break. What I will focus on next year, which is why it's gonna this break is gonna extend a little bit more into the next year, because we're gonna be building my card game, which is very easy to build because it's not fucking programmable. It doesn't have to be programmed. It just has to, you know, be set up with some lines of code. It's not much of a programming, okay? Just like this is not programming, guys. You must understand. This is just some buttons that you can move around. And there's sort of very complicated, you know, structure of how I organize things and how I evaluate how much value I should give to these clicks and all that stuff. There's some, you know, complicated stuff. But I try to not do programming. Everything is like in one giant chunk of code where I can just cast commands from here, you know. It's almost like programming happens here, because like nothing is automated to the point where you just have to like complete tasks. You can just do whatever you want. It's kind of like Minecraft but with buttons. But now Minecraft is programmed because it requires zombies to roam around and chase you at night. So this is more like a peaceful version of Minecraft with buttons. Yeah, a peaceful version. No monsters. Eventually I will start programming in monsters. But anything complicated, like I don't want that. I don't want complicated things. So at some point, the thing I'm doing, I still don't have a name for it. It turns into programming, but it's not there yet. All right, and I don't want it to be there, because programming is kind of makes no sense. You know, you wanna create an ecosystem of separate things, just a simple nodes doing their own thing and combining into some kind of creature. Basically, it's kind of like a robot. You actually like build a robot, a creature, bro. It's kind of how real life seems to work, you know. It has all these fucking weird creatures, man. And they seem to be created out of parts. You know, and you can construct anything in the game, so there's no programming. The programming step is just skipped entirely. You know, if you want something, you just build it. We're programming. So Minecraft actually needs programming because it's a complicated world. I don't think I need programming, to be honest. I will keep it simple. So instead of programming, I'll just have simplicity. Simple 2D environments. Right? I will still need some of this, but it's a different vibe, you know? Because if I wanted to have a fucking zombie A zombie has to navigate 3D environment. Already I just lost my mind saying that. A 3D environment has to be generated. What is that? Generate... What? I have to generate caves now? And oceans and temples and all that shit? No, bro. Nuh-uh. Nah. We don't do that. We have to simplify things even more. Even Minecraft is overly complicated. Overly complicated. But painful to understand. This is why I like card games. It's much simpler and more accessible, and I can just click and play, and I don't have to worry about... I get to build a deck. I get to build the experience that I want. You build and do battles, right? Technically, it makes more sense to do versus. Another problem with Hearthstone is like you play players all the time and they're just trying to rank up, and it's the dumbest thing. Making things competitive is just like in the real world. Welcome to capitalism. Everyone's competing, and the winners get everything. And now they're billionaires, and they can screw everyone else over now? Well, that part is pretty fucking disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. You get your fucking billions, but please, don't enslave me and make me work for money just so I could survive. So just to have fun in Hearthstone, you have to play against fucking assholes that just want to scam the game or have no idea how the fucking to even play the fucking game. It's the same fucking feeling from the fucking real life. I don't want real life in my game world. Please move aside. Go away, stupid fucking capitalistic pieces of shit. Hearthstone fucking cancer. It's the worst part. It's a G. It looks like G, you know. That's the worst part, man. It's the same feeling translated into a card game. I don't need that. That's not a game anymore. That's just capitalistic bullshit programming that you have to move aside because it's not useful anymore. Not to gamers. It's just gonna ruin your fucking brain. And I try to talk to these people and they're capable of talking to me. Magic happens. You know, they can defend themselves and they say it's just a fucking game. Yeah, but you have no ability to reason with people nowadays. So it's not a fucking game, alright? Also, where you spend your time is experience. It's not just a game. It's never about just the game. Are you spending time, bro? Relax. I get to scream and be angry. You get to relax. I don't fucking hear you, okay? I don't hear your arguments. I don't hear your experience. Unless you fucking make better YouTube videos than I do. I'm just the bottom line of YouTube videos. The bottom line that you have to cross over. You know? I specifically make, like, grind the shit out of YouTube, but don't make high quality shit. Alright? If you can make higher quality, congratulations. You deserve to exist. Otherwise, I don't want to fucking hear from other people saying that Hearthstone is something else than what I just fucking described. You know? Here's my proposition. Here's how my game is gonna work. And it has how I will skip programming. Because Hearthstone still has programming. Every time you introduce a new fucking card, you have to program it. It's bullshit. It's too much time wasted on something so fucking irrelevant when I can do the same thing in real life. I can just print a card and it already works because I've decided and I've learned how it works. You know, and there's no... You can even change the rules based on your preference. No big fucking deal. Alright? And if you want to learn the rules, you're gonna learn them from a YouTube video. We're going back to the past when I first held, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I didn't know how the fuck they work, and we just played the stupid war thing of like who has the most power wins. They came up with the stupidest game. It triggered the shit out of me. the childhood friends or whatever. It's triggering, okay? We can come up with something better, but we were children. We didn't knew the rules. Now, now we're dealing with just toxicity in general on gaming, all right? And just because I hurt your feelings, that doesn't mean I'm toxic. Just go away, all right? Just go. Go. I'm not toxic. Don't worry about it. I'm talking about facts, spitting facts as hard as I can so it fucking you will remember that. You will remember this moment. Everything has a reason. Everything has a reason. It's not toxic. It's actually how it's meant to be. You know? It's pure. Not toxic, bro. But hey. Toxic is about you say something and it sounds fucking stupid and disrespectful and I have to fucking counter that somehow. It's just a waste of my time. You're just basically existing, but only there to emit a fart. Fart cloud. And that's pretty toxic. Like, maybe just do something else somewhere else. You know, maybe you haven't found your spot. Maybe you're just a lost child wanting attention for real this time. You know. But that's the shit that I have to deal with. This is the mixed martial cards, bro. Experience. Where I actually have to fight demons with cards and stuff. And activate my dragon card. Thank you very much. I will do that. I can't draw a dragon right now. I'm having trouble. Usually I would draw it like that, right? Something like that. Without wings, though, because... Just the Tyro Rex, bro. With wings. Tyrone. It's a Tyrone, bro. It's weird. So how is gonna my game work? All right. Now there's one iteration of that, which is the programmed iteration, semi-programmed, because it's just gonna be like these bad boys with keywords. So keywords would just have different effects, like add attack while it's attacking, or adds health while it's defending, or every single turn it heals, or some bullshit like that, right? And keywords can have like different levels, and you just mix the keywords up, and it's just always a new card every time it spawns. It's just always a new card. And I could, you know, do different variations of decks or whatever. Who knows, right? Different. You know, the decks are also kind of like different things that contain different of these with different keywords. It just, I can mix a lot of things up and find the right solution based on the experience that I collect, you know. The experience is going to be reflected on the cards that exist, on the decks that exist, that are a staple. You know, there might be some keywords that like synergize and will turn into a legendary because it's so cool how it all comes together, right? But this is different. This is different from what I will do, because what I can do is even easier form of a card game, all right? So a card we know is gonna have attack, defense. That's super simple. Then mana cost. Now mana cost it's not gonna be simple, but neither attack or defense is like simple stuff at all. The first thing, however, there's not gonna be words. Words to describe what? How to fucking wipe my ass? There's no words to describe anything. Like if you summon a monster, you deal 4 damage. There you go. That's 4 damage. In every language imaginable, people will understand what the fuck this means. Alright? Unless they don't have enough A's or 4's in their language. Then fuck you. Alright? I can't help you anymore. It's too deep. You're too deep into it. Alright? But this is the staple idea. All right. B means the creature died. And death rattle. All right, what do we do in death rattle? Like we want to, I don't know. We can't summon anything, by the way. Can't summon anything because these are supposed to be standalone cards. Like you can play them in real worlds. You don't have tokens to be able to play anything, unfortunately. I could like create like a 1/1 token or something. It's possible, right? We can do that. 1/1 tokens, just like a separate little thing. I could do that, whatever. So, but let's say, I don't know, we want to heal our creature. By the way, so I'll just give 4 health, or this could mean anything, okay? 4 health, we still gonna figure out exactly how to label those emojis, basically. 4 health is gonna be given to the highest power level creature, or friendly creature, right? That's what a heart's supposed to mean. Well, this target is usually an enemy, but you can target anything. It's weird. It gets weird because like now I really need to think this through because like these emojis need to like really mean very precise things. So this could mean highest power, meaning like the highest stats when you put them together or whatever. Health and attack together. You pick the highest friendly creature and give them 4 health or something when this dies, right? There's no text. Do you see any text here? All right? I don't think I see any text anymore. We don't even say taunt anymore. The fuck is that shit? I don't need that anymore. Yes, you can read your text in your own language. You can have this like explanation of what different emojis mean what. And we're not creating hieroglyphs. We're not trying to become Egyptians again. Hopefully. All right. Unless it's cool. Unless we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh again. And we're actually trying to be Egyptian pharaohs. Maybe we're not going to go there. We're not going to go that far. All right. And cards are not going to do like 20 different things. You know. Whatever Yu-Gi-Oh is up to right now. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's supposed to be simple. And if you want complexity, then you just complicate the actual game itself. You don't have to complicate the cards. You just complicate how many cards you have in your hand and what the interactions do, you know. And maybe you invent new emojis if you want. You don't need to overcomplicate one card itself and the way the card works or whatever, or the card's type of some kind, you know, like what? So, will there be spells, though? It's possible to do spells, I guess. It's not really relevant to do spells. I've realized it's better to just make minions with effects. Like, why do I need spells? Why do I need locations? It's possible. I'm not saying nothing, bro. There could be types of things. There could be items, too, just like from Elder Scrolls Legends. Items, sure. You can stack things on top of each other. Sure. Now here's how the rule's gonna work, because it's pretty complicated. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty complicated because it's supposed to work in a physical format as well. Yeah, physical format, not just digital. Which is like, but there's so much design space in digital. Shut the fuck up. No, not that much. Not that much. When you start appreciating the fucking physical format, you realize maybe we don't need that fucking digital shit that much. I played against myself in the worst situation. I invented this when I was in a hospital. All right. I was destined to waste 1 year of my life, and I invented this game. And now I'm bringing this to you. That's the, underlying story of me being fucking tortured in a way, but I escaped torture by inventing something really cool that nobody appreciated. Nobody, zero. Just like there's zero tempo players, zero people give a fuck of what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, you doing something this time? You actually? You're not just playing chess. You're not just moving pieces in a way that's already predetermined to win the game. You're actually trying to have fun. Like what kind of brain damage is that? Am I right? Fun is like for zombies and idiots. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But you gotta look into the mirror and double check. Maybe you should have fun in your life for once. Uh, just to taste the rainbow. So how is it gonna work? Well, I have a deck and my opponent has a deck, and in order to make things comfortable, I will not mirror it in the opposite way. I'll mirror it as that. So it's very simplified, right? Then there is graveyard, of course. Whatever, no one cares about that, right? Then there's battlefield. We already know this stuff. The battlefield. First of all, card can be tapped. All right, wait. And it kind of looks like this in the emoji form. This is a tap. The crystal, yeah, or the diamond sign. It tapped. Tap means it cannot block anything. You don't worry about it. I know blocking is a stupid fucking word. In this case, I have combined Hearthstone with the best form of tapping there is, alright? Also, there's no lands. So you don't have to worry about that. In fact, so how do you get resources? How do you calculate things? Well, you sacrifice things from your hands. Any card you want. Kind of feels like dual monsters, but not really. You can sack any amount of cards you want. You will have any amount of mana you want. You will start with 3 mana, and you will have 5 more cards to play. 5. Your opponent will have 6 because it starts second. You start with 3 mana, and you tap the mana every single turn. Actually, no. It's a lot easier to just push mana aside, I have noticed. You just grab 2 cards, push it aside. That's the used mana. No need to tap anything, because that's just kind of like an ugly motion. You can do it with minions. It's a lot cooler to do with minions. But with mana, you just push aside. Now, also, just like with dual monsters, I've combined a lot of games into this one thing. I've just taken a lot of experience from everything. With dual monsters, you have shields. I have decided 3 shields is good enough. When your shield is broken, you gain that card. There's no prophecies. There's nothing that will trigger when the shield is broken. You just have more resources in your hand. To break the shield, you have to emit 5 points of damage. Alright? You have to do this much damage to one card. If you can't do it in one turn, nothing happens, basically. Alright? And when the shields are broken, you need to do 5 more damage for lethal damage. Basically, you have 20 health, but every single time you have to reach that breaking point. If your opponent can't do that, they can't do nothing with your health. They can't just slowly damage you into submission with a bunch of tokens or some bullshit like that. They have to deal at least 5 damage to break the shield. Now, let's summon a monster. So monster can tap itself and attack. Let's see. I immediately summon a monster with 5 attack and 1 health or whatever. I can immediately break the shield. From first turn, I can still attack. Yes. there's no complication of like what can attack and what cannot attack and what gets to be frozen or whatever. You can attack from the very first turn. Yes, it's a little bit weird, but if you have summoned a 5/1 creature, I can just easily kill that back, alright? And you just broken one shield, meaning that I get an additional resource in my hand now to work with. So, I can't really show footage of this yet until I program it. Set it up, rather. Code it, set it up. So it works that way. But the only thing I have to do is just have a card, have an ability to tap cards, move cards around, reveal cards. If there are shields, they're going to be upside down. Draw cards from the deck. Deck works completely differently. Deck has cards, which you don't move around. You just get card from the deck, right? It's completely random, basically. The deck has like a certain amount of cards that it has, but it doesn't have to be shuffled. It doesn't have to be interacted with. It's just a pile of cards, of completely random cards based on the, maybe the colors. You can pick like the colors and you get random cards. That's it. I don't have to worry about the deck or program the deck in a specific way and shuffle it. Like that is just a waste of time. All right. So if you want specific cards in your deck, like maybe I will allow some kind of deck building or whatever. Or some kind of like coding, deck coding. So you... some kind of manipulation, of course, to spice things up. But like you don't need to worry about it. Most people don't want to do deck building anyways. It's too complicated. So you tap the card. You move things around, you reveal the card you draw from the deck. That's all the interactions I really need to make this game, right? That's it. Yes, it's weird with the opponent. There's no multiplayer, whatever. I don't care about that. Someone's gonna do all those other things. I just want to emit the idea that the idea is actually fun. All right? I just want to show how easy it is to make a card game that's functional without much of work, but it's not just functional, it's actually like powerful as an experience and can be translated into the real world if anyone wants to print out the cards. It's the easiest thing ever. And I fixed everything, basically. Because I've played this, I've tested this. This is fucking entertainment forever. Just infinite entertainment. When I was in a hospital, I was like, damn, this is fucking mad. I want to share this with the world at some point. I want to recreate this experience, but probably I wouldn't want to do that. I'm just going to find even better way to recreate this. I didn't find a better way. I got stuck, basically, realizing that I don't want to program any of this. I don't want to give them anything. I just want to add a picture. No. The entire card is just one picture. Alright? And I can just modify things just by drawing different values or whatever. Technically, I could have health to be modifiable. I don't give a fuck anymore. Alright? Just everything is just gonna be one picture. The entire card. Just as a meme. That you can just do that. Why? Because here's the minion interactions now. Let me explain that. Minions interact very similarly to like shields. There are breaking points, right? Just like in Magic the Gathering or whatever. So you have like 6 health, 3 attack, and it's untapped. Or maybe there's a tapped creature with 2 attack, 4 health, or whatever. Then let's summon 5 attack, 2 health creature, or whatever. And a 1/1. Alright, both can attack, both are not tapped. Tapped creatures I'm just gonna, show with the diamond instead. And slightly, elongated horizontally. I can attack into this. if I attack with a 1/1, by the way, this cards get tapped because it defended itself. You know, it tried to defend itself. Now, 1/1s and tokens probably wouldn't trigger this sort of effect. They would just get crushed. And there's no tapping. But normally, if you attack with a creature, this thing defended itself, it gets tapped, and now I can just finish it off and not lose this creature. I would lose this one. So that's pretty complicated as it is. Alright, I can use my creatures to tap his creatures to defend this thing and let it survive, you know. Second of all, again, creatures attack immediately. Why wait? What's the point? I can even attack your life points. However, in order to finish the opponent, not only you have to do 5 points of damage, you can attack shields anytime unless there's blockers, right? But once the shields are done, you have to clear the entire board before you can attack directly. You know, now the opponent's vulnerable and is gonna fucking run away. You can't. You can't attack until you clear the entire board, which might actually be very difficult to do. I constantly find myself going into such a grind where it goes back and forth until we run out of cards constantly. Like, it's constantly, you need to worry about every single resource that you're using and how you're using and which card you want to play first and next and blah blah. It's crazy, bro. It drives me insane how balanced this game is by default if you just care about it enough, and how interactive it is when creatures attack immediately. Super cool. And the mana, resources, everything just self-balanced, because the moment you're losing health, you're gaining resources. That's it. It's just that fucking easy. Now, if I want to balance things even more, maybe I would add more shields. Maybe I would reduce the amount of health you need. I don't know, man. I don't care. We'll find the way of what's the more fun version of this. But like, if we want the basic version, this is the one that works flawlessly. So if I attack into a tapped creature, this creature can't defend himself. That's it. That's the whole thing. Any questions, guys? There's some effects where, you know, you can summon a card and it starts as tapped cards. Then they have to have more stats because it's very easy to just defeat them without, you know, any losses. If you don't lose resources, like, you just win a bunch of stuff. But you can also have like counter minions. So even if they tap, they could still fight back. There's all sorts of different minions you can have, like range minions where they don't care if you tapped or not tapped, they're just gonna kill you whenever. You know, there's stealth attacks. If this minion survives, it attacks first and it doesn't get countered. All sorts of things like that are possible. There's minions that cannot attack potentially, and they just generate tokens or some bullshit value. Right? We all know Ragnaros is one of those creatures. So there's so much possibility even with just the way minions attack or not attack. As the last part, so this is it. This is basically it, but not really. There's one more thing, there's one more number on cards that matters, is the mana cost. Alright? While we have this attack and health, actually the shield doesn't cut it. The shield actually would reduce damage. So if I deal 5 damage, it would translate into 4 damage. And if I deal 1 damage, it translates to 0. Yeah, the shield protects from damage, basically. Certain amount. There's Divine Shield, technically. No? I don't know. Maybe there could be, but That one is like really powerful. Because the Divine Shield would also regenerate just like health. Everything goes back to full health. You have to break through basically a minion. Because it's not a digital thing. So mana cost is a little bit weird. Yes, you have a number. But you also have X's and drops. And then you have a little bit of a zappy. Yeah, what is that? These are also kind of like emoji things. With X's, you have to sacrifice your mana completely. So while you're stacking up your mana from your hands, also you draw 2 cards. You draw 2 cards because one card is for the mana and one card is for you. You get to choose. It's kind of like Discover effect every turn. You get to choose what to do with your hands and how much mana you want, how to manage everything. Which minion you gonna summon? You gonna sacrifice the entire hand to just summon one big ass fucking dragon? You can do that. You have all the choices, and giving player this much choice proven to me that the game actually finally works. It finally works. Wow. That's what I wanted to do. Just make a functional game, bro. Fantastic. YouTube CEO right there, bro. For a reason. I make things work for the fucking first time. People haven't figured out how to make things work. Now, the drop is just sacrifice 1 card from your deck. Alright, discard. Discard 1 card. Still very relevant, and still just that tiny thing that you think it's irrelevant. It's just like taking damage. No, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is about tapping mana, so you kind of lose 1 mana for 2 turns. So not only you set it aside, but you also tap it. So it's lost for 2 turns. You first untap it and then settle it back to where it belongs. That's what the zap is. It's kind of like overload. That's what the inspiration was. It's overload. Meaning that if you have 8 mana, you can play the 8 mana card, the 7 plus zap, right? Because those stack together. You can play this. However, it's kind of like spending 9 mana, but 1 mana over 2 turns. You get it. It's overload. It's not a big deal. There might be more that I'm missing. Could be minion sacrifices. I don't know, like a fucking star or something. That would be weird. Yeah, because all your mana is tied to your hand, so there's no like discards required. You just do it. You just play, put your hands to where mana is, and use it. There's no discard needed, or just discard it from your hand. The X could be discard or a discard from your mana pool as well, from your hand or mana. Doesn't matter. It might matter in some situations, but like these are like super basic ones, and that's cool, right? So we have a little bit of a more intricate mana system. Now, is there going to be mana cheating? Why? Sure, why not? Yeah, of course. I don't care. I don't care as long as it doesn't break the game, you know, like that's the whole point. Like there can definitely be some kind of mana more efficiency or whatever, but like what's the point? In a way, I never printed a cards when I was making these cards. Like I never printed a mana cheating card. I'm gonna give you guys examples of what I've done, like the best examples I can find. Let me just filter out like top 10 cards or whatever from one deck. Actually, I'm gonna do something better, and I will take a picture and explain the picture. This is made out of candy wrappers, and I need to copy and paste this in here so I can zoom in and just draw it out for you guys of how it actually looks like. This is an 8/8. I need the smaller 4 mana, but 2x. Now, X, I've realized is like a 3 points of mana. Like, it's really expensive, but you gain a lot of resources by killing other creatures with a giant thing, right? So it's kind of like spending 10 mana, but only using 6 resources to do it. You know, you break your mana crystal in a way. But it's okay because you get to fucking crush your opponent. There's also this thing, which is, you know, breakthrough damage. Any access damage damages the shields. When this dies, it turns to mana. Alright? It's kind of cool. Usually things go to the graveyard, this turns to mana. So a dinosaur, basically. This thing, when it kills, it gains a little bit of stats. In order to symbolize stats, it just consumes the minion in a way, I think. Well, no. What it does, it uses this tag, and it takes from the graveyard, or from the deck, whichever resource you want to use. You would prefer the graveyards. And because everything goes to the graveyard alongside with the card. But this symbolizes that every time you kill, you take 1 token and put it underneath, and every single token is going to add +1/+1. Potentially, we're just going to be using tokens instead of some kind, because that seems pretty useful now, looking at this card, and knowing that you could just summon like 1/1 tokens or something that's kind of attached to the card as well. Like, this could mean something else, right? If I want to summon tokens, like, it could be like a token thing, something like this. Who knows, like something like a heart. And it could be like a 2/2 or a 3/3. It could be anything, but it's still like attached, like linked to the card, right? It could be like still used with the card. So I don't know. Tokens could be definitely useful to this game. I will probably program that shit in, or just add it in. Again, there's not real programming. This is the cost. I don't know. Just a general idea. Again, we're just kind of overlooking the possibilities of the effects and how they look like. Like, the simplicity, this is how many words I had to use, and the game was still fucking functional and interesting, and every single character was, like, unique and stuff. Holy Jesus, bro. This is a sacrifice card, so you use this like it's a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a creature of 3 or above mana to get a simple effect of getting 2 shields. It sounds a lot of shields, but you are just summoning a 5/5 for 5 mana. And that's pretty weak. Usually creatures have better stats than this shit. Usually you get a 4 mana 5/1, and that's way better. Somehow. Also, you could even have an effect on top of that. This is when it's summoned, all creatures are returned. They return to the hands. Alright, this is how it's typed. It's 4/3 with a bunch of lightning bolts. There you go. This bad boy is has a Wind Fury, but only for the first attack. This means this effect can only be used once, and you can do it whenever you feel like it. There's, again, yeah, technically you would put a token on top of this if the effect was used successfully. Just to remember things, right? And the Wind Fury looks like this. You just untap the creature once whenever you feel like it. You attack. Yeah, every time you attack, it taps, obviously, if you haven't figured that out. And makes it vulnerable to other creatures' attacks. Uh, in this case, I don't remember what this part is. Is this like what? No, just get 2 more shields, which is boring because we already have that. This is, however, a unique. This thing right here, this R thing. So this translates into a rune, a passive effect, an effect that's constantly happening on the board. So while this is on the board, all your friendly creatures, other friendly creatures, by the way, this is how friendly creatures, so it would affect itself as well. This is how other friendly creatures looks like. That squiggle matters in the end. It's kind of like it's cutting off something, right? That was the idea behind it. So this would actually give +0/+1 to all other creatures while this is on the board. Every other creature has 1 more health. And this has 8 health and 0. And cannot attack. This is forever tapped, basically. It's kind of like, you know, a landscape with just kind of forest, right? Going here, again, we're gonna review these cards and I'll shut down the video. Maybe with some kind of conclusion. But yeah, like, it pisses me off, man. How? This is so simple, right? But to reach that simplicity, you have to find principles within yourself to be able to do that. Like, anyone could have made this. Anyone. And I haven't seen anything like this before. I had to craft it all together. Wait. Oh, what? I can target just 1 creature? I think, yeah. There's also all. That means all other friendly creatures get untapped. Which is kind of fun, actually. The more creatures you have, the more powerful this dragon flyby thing is. Which is why it's 6 mana. But it combos fairly well because it just requires 4 resources. So you can just untap like 2 creatures or something, usually. If you're out of your mind and figure out a way to just cheat it out somehow, I don't know, man. Maybe it will untap 3 creatures and destroy your opponent. It's possible, bro. Sylvanas. You know what Sylvanas used to do? Just kill the creature, right? Yeah, whatever. Maybe not. But yeah, I try to recreate the same effect of, like, kill the creature if this dies. The highest creature, by the way. The highest stat creature. It just dies. Alright, this marks death of something. Or killing something. Or lethal attack. So as she's dying, like, fucking kill something. Cool, right? Also, it has a range attack. This is how range attack looked like. 6 mana, whatever. This is taking from the graveyard 3 bones and putting it in the deck. These are wisps. Bringing things back into your resource pool or whatever. Yeah, I can't draw the deck anymore. I don't have space. You get the idea. Again, 3 bones. Shit. With emojis, it would be so much easier, right? And a deck like this. Kind of like cube. It's weird. That's it. That's it, bro. And these are kind of like the better designs, but everything feels unique and interesting. I mean, I'm proud of my work. Even the people that were, like, super smart, they didn't want to fucking play this game with me. They just didn't want to learn any of this shit. I tried so hard. Like, I don't understand people at some point. At some level, it's just like, is it too much for you to handle, bro? Like, what's going on? And one of them is like, oh, I have made my own card game, actually. Yeah, that's what I did. I'm just gonna need to patent it now. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? We're not even gonna play your card game. You're just talking about some bullshit all of a sudden. Yeah, whatever. People look into the arts and it's like, oh, it's cute and whatnot. You're doing something. It's like, yeah, but you don't understand. You don't understand nothing, bro. Yes, there's a lot of keywords to learn. There's a lot of little shit to learn, but people haven't even fucking touched it to the point where they can summon a fucking creature properly. They haven't touched the ideas. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough learning someone else's game. But I did it. I made it. I've learned my own rules. And they're very, very consistent. And still generates a unique experience every single time. Every time it's unique because all these cards have to be different because I can't just copy and paste a card because that would be fucking stupid. You know. So I figured all of these things out and it's still a physical card game. I didn't have to do digital shit at all. And I want this to be a thing. You know, I want this to live because Hearthstone is pretty dead as it is. Now, is there any conclusions I can make? Yeah, when can I promise you guys, this is the ending part, when can I promise you guys the ultimate reveal of like everything is here inside this game, right? When can I promise you for this to happen? So I'm working on YouTube Rewind very intensely, and I might be playing other card games, be cheating on Hearthstone. All right, if Hearthstone was my girlfriend, I'm on a cheating phase right now because I'm done. I'm done, bro. I'm not doing this anytime soon. It's gonna be pretty tough. Actually, I'm lying a little bit. When I will make YouTube Rewind, I will program in just enough features to do this. And maybe I will have just enough time to squeeze in a fully functional, you know, thing. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's sort of a game. Well, like basic version of this game. Maybe I can squeeze in the amount of effort. Maybe it would take like 3 days or something to do. It's still pretty complicated. I still have to draw all the cards in a way. But I would just have to scribble around. But I have to like combine emojis together in a way. It's a little bit complicated. It's weird. Uh, I'm not sure how I'll do it efficiently. I would just have to like copy and paste things in a way, which is fine. This when you look into this stuff, like the most complicated stuff is like this. How the fuck do I do that? Because this is like, this is just numbers, bro. What is that? I have to format it, like it's weird. But like emojis, I can copy and paste the numbers, not so much. So that part is a little weird. Actually, like you can have a table full of this stuff, but it would require like multiple of combinations and all that weird stuff. So technically, like it's one emoji, and you copy and paste twice. It's weird, right? So I'll have to wrap my head around that, but I think I would just have a table of things. You pick certain pieces, put together a card, you know. So that's that. I'm just simplifying things so I can just do it in a few days. That's how I do work. All right, I want to simplify things so it's like super easy to do. And this game is like super simple. I don't have to write words. If I written words, it would be impossible to read, even for me. That this ink just kind of fades away over time. It's impossible. So I found a solution to also not just simplify everything, but simplify for a even greater reason of like I can finally fucking read a card really fast. Really fast. Without like, oh, this death rattle doing exactly what? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. really fast. All right, so with that in mind, so it's either gonna be right before YouTube Rewind or right after, and I can only promise after, 1 month after. So somewhere in January, I will be announcing more about this stuff. All right, see you guys next time. That is it. I'm very excited. Okay, I want people to experience this. At least me playing it. At least I want to like make footage out of it, and that's as best as I can give. Because like technically, even if it's released, like you might not know how to play with it, or you will not enjoy it because it's not multiplayer based. But there's one big but. You can just copy and paste the cards themselves, make them physical just like I have them here, and you can play them with your physical friends. If you can force a person to play with you this card game, bruh, you're gonna set a world record, because even I haven't fucking done it, bro. I haven't done it myself. I want to see that world record, my friends. See you guys next time.